Hello, and welcome to the Insecure Chef. I'm here with my lovely wife, Regina, and today we're going to be doing something just slightly bit different. For those who suffer from Gerd or gastritis, we have a recipe here that I think will be somewhat helpful. Let me put a disclaimer out right away. We're not doctors. We don't guarantee anything. We certainly don't think it would hurt you, but you please try it on your own and make your own decision. We're working from an interesting book that we found. It's the Gastritis and Gerd Cookbook. Please understand I have no connection whatsoever with the author. It's just that it gave us recipe ideas that you can use directly or possibly even add or subtract your own concepts so long as you stay within the guidelines of gastritis and Gerd, which I don't think you need me to tell you what those good and bad ingredients are. So today we're going to be making chicken and spinach, a very simple dish. It very quickly put together. It really only has a few ingredients. Right now on the stove I've got a skillet with a tablespoon of olive oil in there, and I'm heating that up right now on medium heat. And of course, as always, the recipe will be on the channel. And we're basically going to be working with a couple of ounces, maybe about 6 or 8 ounces of boneless, skinless chicken breasts. We're using Himalayan crystal salt for the taste. Do you need to use that? Your call. It does seem to have some added variety in flavor, but that's your call. And we're going to be working with 2 cups of spinach, baby spinach, and a quarter of a cup of chicken broth. So, if my lovely wife will move over to the stove, we're going to get started over there. Let me just move some ingredients here, and we'll be ready to roll. Okay, so as I said, the pan is heated now at medium heat. Should be ready to go. And the first thing I want to do is simply put the chicken in, and let's get it going. So, first one going in. And now comes the second one, if I can grab it. Okay. And let that cook a moment. And I'm going now to sprinkle it with some of the Himalayan salt. Now this is crystals, as you can see. You need a little strength to actually get this to work. So here we go. Okay. Of course, the salt is to your taste. So if you try this and you need more salt, you can put it on the table. And then next time you cook it, you can use more or less as the situation needs. So I'm going to cook this for about 4 minutes on each side. So I'm just going to set myself a little timer so I don't get too crazy. And we'll see how it goes. Now I don't know if there are a lot of folks who suffer with gastritis or Gerd. If my wife doesn't mind saying she's the one who has
yes, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean it's tough for an Italian woman having trouble with things like garlic
and tomato.
Tomato, yes. And of course, being a woman, she has trouble with the fact that she's chocolate's no good either.
Off the fork.
So you know it's difficult.
I'm
just going to rinse this off now for a moment.
Get rid of that.
Alrighty. I'm just moving away the plate that had the raw chicken on it. Going to lower the heat down just a little bit because it's getting a little excited there. So it's going to let this cook for a minute, and when we come back, I will have already started the second side, and we can proceed from there. Okay, we're back, and as you can see, the chicken has now browned up very nicely on both sides, and it is probably very close to being completely cooked, if not totally. Keep in mind that we cook the temperature. So with chicken, we want to get it to 160 internal temperature, and we use a good internal thermometer, not one of those dollar store thermometers. And at this stage, we're going to take it out right now, move it on the plate for the moment. Okay, and I've lowered the heat just a bit. And now I'm going to throw in the spinach. It may go crazy because it's wet. Alright, and we're just going to saute this around for a minute or two so it cooks down. But it won't take long if you've worked with spinach before. Alright, let that go down a bit. I'm going to do this probably for about, I don't know, 2-3 minutes. You're starting to see now, of course, as it begins to wilt down from the heat. Spinach doesn't take long. This can also be done with kale. If you're into kale, it may just take a bit longer in this step. The kale being a more fibrous vegetable, that may take longer. All right, as you see, we're definitely getting it down there. Now, David,
I think that's good.
This is good. At this point now, I'm going to put in 1/4 cup of chicken broth. All right, and I'm going to bring it to a boil. I'm going to raise the heat to do that. All right, let that boil up. Shouldn't take too long. And then once that gets to a boil, which is just about happening, I'm going to lower this down, and I'm going to let it simmer for about 4 to 5 minutes. So let this get boiling.
And then you put the chicken back?
Yeah, and then the chicken will go back. Okay, I'm now going to lower this down, and we'll be back in about 4 or 5 minutes. All right, we're back. As you can see, this has been simmering now for about 4 to 5 minutes. Good deal of the 1/4 cup of broth is gone, which is the whole point of it. This is not really soup. So with that, I'm going to take the chicken and put it back in here. Okay, I'm going to give it a little whatever, flip it over. And then I'm just going to let this cook for another 2 minutes, and we'll be ready to plate. So let's see what happens here. We'll be back. Okay, 2 minutes have gone by. The chicken is definitely thoroughly cooked. As I said, we were over 160. The spinach is nice and tender. I'm going to shut down the heat, and I'm going to plate this. And there you go. Chicken and spinach made, hopefully, for people who suffer from Gerd or gastritis. So, with that said, from the Insecure Chef and his lovely wife, Regina,
Bon appetit.
enjoy your day and happy eating.